Hello! This week we're going to talk about my first super mundane tool, affirmations, and how they can help you. But they've got to be resonating affirmations. So stick around and I'll explain the difference. So, everyone by now must know what an affirmation is in this new age, new thought era. The likes of Louise Hay and people like that, Wayne Dyer and people who have told us that what we affirm in a positive way actually creates our reality. They say it as if we can just, if you pig ugly, you can look in a mirror and say, I am beautiful, and you'll go and win a beauty contest, but it's just not the case. Resonating affirmations are affirmations that are already somewhat believable. So yes, we want to, actually use affirmations to alchemize what we want to envision and bring into being into our lives. Things that we're not confident with, so if we're not a confident person, we could say, I am confident, I am confident. But if you're not a confident person in any area in your life, you're just not going to believe it. You're not going to invoke that thought link, the thought and feeling together that transcends this physical 3D reality past the frequency fields into the mystical zones, that brings back ways to make sure you envision that, make that quantum reality that you have envisioned being your preferred reality into being. So if you're confident in one area and not another, you could say, I am confident in this area, which means I have confidence, which means I can use this feeling to make myself confident in other areas. If you are pig ugly, for example, instead of looking in the mirror and saying, I am beautiful, you could say, how am I beautiful on the inside? I am beautiful on the inside because I'm kind, I'm generous, I'm truthful, I'm a good friend, I can keep a secret, and I would never gossip behind people's backs and things like that, and I give to charity. All things like this make you beautiful on the inside, which, if you're confident with that, can show on the outside. So, not Gerard Depardieu, whatever he's called nowadays, but if you know Gerard Depardieu from the 90s, might be even the 80s, God, going back, I don't know. The years just fly by. I don't know where they've gone. I think something was 20 years ago and it's like 30 years ago. That film was 30 years ago. I'm like, what? Where's that gone? Anyway, so Gerard Depardieu is the most ugliest thing to me. I could never imagine he's like something that lines up for a social security or something. He's just not my cup of tea, for example, but he is a sex symbol. He was a sex symbol back in the day. Loads of women would have just fallen at his feet. You see him down the pub, you ain't going to look twice. It's as simple as that, if he weren't famous. But there was something about him that was charismatic. He just, exuded this sexiness about him for some reason. Let's take someone else, Patrick Swayze. Patrick Swayze is not nice looking, really. But he's just sexy. There's something about him that's like, you just wouldn't say no, because he just oozes this confidence of, I don't know, just sexiness and is it the X Factor? It Factor if you're in America. But he's just got something that, he had something, bless him. I bet he's on level 1. In Omnipian. Oh, that's an inside joke if you know the novels of Debbie Zane. Anyway, Going back to the resonating affirmations. Now, Tony Robbins likes to say, instead of affirmations, he uses declarations. I am strong. I am going to beat this thing. I am the master of my reality. I am the controller of this body. This body will not defeat me. And he like commands things into being. He'll jump in like freezing cold waters in the morning, more fool him. Like, but you know, he is a machine. He is the, you know, the giant, and he's got all this energy, and he's beat things in his life that, you know, people said he couldn't have, because of this health and the way he just commands it of himself. And in gematria and numerology, from the Kabbalistic sort of Zohar esoteric mystical teachings, they say that words and letters letters of the words and the sounds together create a frequency. And this frequency is what patterns the waves and the atoms into being. Now, I'm not saying that this is correct, but there is the reason it's called spelling is because we put a spell out into the universe when we speak words. So when we're constantly saying, I am this and that, I'm fat, you know, I would say, I'm fat, I need to lose weight. I don't know how many times a day, years ago. Until I can say, I can lose weight. My body knows how to be 9 stone, whatever. Whether it listens or not is another story, but excuse me, I've got that horrible cough again. What was we talking about at all? Let me just say. Yeah, so whatever you are affirming on a daily basis, it has to be more than 50% positive or towards the things you want to create and shape the reality into being. So we are not creators in as at the speed of thought anymore. We're human doing, so we have to keep affirming this. I like to use resonating affirmations of my own that's like rhyming as well, because rhyming words have power in them, and they sort of spur you up and lift your spirit. And if they're jolly and silly as well at the same time, and you get the repetition in your head, it can make you sing it all day long and remind you to speak these things into being, like let there be light. In the old Hebrew Aramaic 22 letters of the old alphabet, Aleph and stuff like that. So it was Yod Hey Vod Hey, which is YH VH, which turned into Joshua, which turned into Yahweh. But this was the name of the God of the Bible. But the actual God is Om, L-O-M, Ah. These are the Ah, Om, E, all the tones, what they call gregorial sounds. Yeah, you know, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. These sounds, when combined together, especially like 3 notes in a guitar, cause certain frequencies to vibrate the strings in string theory that are out there in the universe that form patterns and waves and stuff like that. So the words that we speak do create realities around us. In a way, while we're earthbound, it creates sort of people believing in you around you. If you believe in yourself and you're stating this, if you're stating what you want and you are going to achieve it, you write it down. These words, they have power in them. So we have to be careful about what we choose to speak about on a daily basis and how we choose to speak about it. Already make sure it is somewhat resonating within you first. You're not going to believe anything. You know, I am rich when you're on the street corner. begging for change. Do you know what I mean? It's just not going to work. You're not going to believe it. You could say people are kind. People have gotten out of this situation before. Something's going to come up for me if I look for it. And then if they are tapped in, believing this, they're more likely to notice the opportunities, because people that just have no hope aren't going to see. You know, there's a story of a beggar with the diamond in his pocket. He's going round all day with this diamond in his pocket, begging for change, starving. He had a diamond in his pocket, he didn't know, which is, you know, it's a bit of a cheesy story, but I've always remembered it because we are the diamond inside, and we cover ourselves with this shit, and we don't believe in ourselves so much through fear and, you know, beliefs and religious trauma syndrome, keeping us stifled, keeping us repressed, keeping us believing that we can't desire things. Desiring is wrong, when in actual fact the Buddhists say craving is wrong. How the Sanskrit words were translated into English is just not the same as what it meant back then. Craving is a horrible state to be in, craving. Desiring is beautiful. Desiring is what we came here to do. So to desire is spiritual. It is the will of it. That's what it wanted to be, do, and have more than it ever did. So, you know, it's freeing to understand the difference between the words craving. It's just totally different from desire. I mean, Buddhists try not to desire. And the desire to be desireless is a desire. It can't be done. So, yeah, so whatever you want, make sure you can somehow get to resonate with it first. Keep saying it. Make a jolly rhyme about it. So it just lifts your spirit as well while you're doing it. And people will start believing it. Once I started believing in myself, I could see people going, I know you're going to do it. I can tell you're going to do it. And it's just what happens. You will shape your reality because of it, because of the power behind it. When you're actually, it's in your body and you know it, you will just exude it. Whether you're ugly or not, you'll just be sexy. So there you go. You know, if you pick ugly, you're not going to win beauty contests. You know, the conformed, idealistic beauty, but you are beautiful because you're here and you're a human, and somebody will love you anyway. There's a perfect somebody out there who thinks you are more beautiful than any catwalk skinny model out there. So and that's true. So there's one for you if you're not feeling that clever. And there's always makeup. See you next time.